just a desperate attempt. Who's actually doing this, and who's doing the terrorism? Whoever is actually would have such an intention just to practice their terrorism, and whoever is doing the terrorism has they are the one actually that they have the intention and they spread their poisons, and of course the terrorism is just to generate such leaks. As we always say, while we are just building, there are groups that present the people planning for terrorism, and it's a very close difference, very close difference between building and destruction. People planning and using all the guns that would enable them to burn and kill, so they had no moral dimension. Yet the unity of determination and the relationship between the leaders, whether they are the Egyptian minorities, Saudis, Kuwaitis, they have you can imagine it's based on respect and of course the relationship between the people. And in fact it is just a waste of the time, waste the space. Bin Said said that we are just going through such the methodology in realizing the role of Egypt that would create the state of security toleration. So do you believe with such a trust that Egypt is capable of facing such challenges? Thank God that Egypt is just doing Israel according to their destiny and applying with full determination and loyalty and children responsibility and the goodwill. It is actually the concept between, not just between the two leaders or the leaders, also it is between the peoples. The security of the Gulf is based on the security of Egypt. It's not just words, yet it is a doctrine. Therefore, whoever is approaching would lose a lot. The military Russian-Egyptian relationship that started with Abdel Nasser stopped in Sadat during the Mubarak era, and it's being revived again by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, that's been crowned by the Russian Vladimir Putin visit to Egypt, that Egypt is just regaining their alliance. It is not true. We're not just hidden to the east only, yet there are friendly relationships with everybody. Egypt has a relation with everybody as long as we have a common interest. Naturally, to have some sort of history to be written again, such as the history of Russia that stood beside Egypt in 1956, for example, that has, and also 1967, of course, there was a defeat and there was a dire need to rebuild the Egyptian army that's been assisted by the Russian people, just as well as achieving the high dam. It's been always supporting the Egyptian people, and the last year prior to the 30th of June, of course, there was a feeling of the Russian people as well as the Russian government to support the people. Therefore, one a very distinguished relationship between the two sides. In fact, Egypt's people would never forget the favor. Therefore, such a relationship is just regaining its presence. Egypt's regaining its role with every country, as it is the pivotal role that everyone is looking at, and in the meantime it's just maintaining all the relationships. It's been said that specifically such a relationship is just trying to deepen the gap between Egypt and Washington, or Cairo and Washington. No, absolutely not. Our strategic relationship is still there between Egypt and the United States of America. Yet we are just establishing the principles such as the non-intervention in the domestic state, and in sometimes the strength of the relation, no matter how it is, there is just passing through challenges. This is what Washington is doing, living now with Congo. I think there is a great understanding, comprehension between the two sides, the people's will and the vision of the leader. So there is a deal, army deal with Russia, as well as the plane Rafale deal from the French side. That is for the first time to see the kind of plane since for 14 years. So to what extent they would support supporting the Egyptian army, and that would be like decreasing the type of dependence of the United States. Egypt has nothing to do with dependence. It has a great army, one of the biggest army, and its fighting capability has been increased, so therefore there is nothing to be said about dependence. So we are fully realizing how it would be like the Egyptian army to be like very shielded to the Arab borders, and of course the signing the memo, understanding memo between the Russian and the Egyptian side to establishing a nuclear plant in El-Daba. There's no doubt, it's just for peaceful use and generating power that we are in dire need, just to double the capability of generating power. There's no doubt it's just to use the nuclear power by peaceful means would give us create a biggest competitiveness, and of course will decrease the prices, and therefore it is according to the interest of Egypt that the memo of understanding to be sound. It is like it's just to have build the high dam. You've already affirmed that Egypt has a pivotal role in the Arab regions. Let's talk about Libya. That would represent a threat to Egypt. Would be the treatment militarily. Egypt would play a role in mediator between the parties there. I would like to read that Egypt has several principles. Firstly, it's just to affirm the unity of its soils, the Libyan soils. Beside the legitimacy, of course, there is a parliament has been elected by the people. There is the legitimate government that we support, and tend to have an effective role in dialogue between the parties. The revival of peace to Libya and the unity supporting the people, it is a duty. And the giant borders would require just protecting our borders as well, and which is exactly what is doing. We're protecting our borders to have a role between the compromise and the affirming the unity of the soul. Healthy Union have already controlled the most of the governing rates, at least in the north, and their eyes on the Al-Bab al-Mandab. If it is being affected, it would of course affect the Suez Canal and the national security in Egypt. Of course, we're not going to let this happen. How would we respond? Egypt is capable to respond in a way they see. It's going to be a political or military. It's premature to say. To conclude with the future and the political situation, in particular the economic situation, the light of the variant that Egypt is witnessing through the upcoming economic conference in March. to how would you prepare and who would you wish to invest in Egypt? We are preparing in a good way, and of course it is a message just to promote the investment in Egypt, yet I do not consider it as just a promotional one, but to be an acknowledgement by the state or the protocol that there is a change, steps being taken to create an attractive environment in investment. While we issue the law of investment to be a clear administrative reform, to be or to have a real solution to the world problems, and therefore would attack them, and of course would acknowledge the change, and would like to welcome them. There are great opportunities throughout all the fields, and we cannot just forget that Egypt's population is 90 million now, and its location, and of course the theme of the conference will be Egypt in the future, and we will help for everybody to participate, in particular our brothers in the Gulf area that have investment in several countries, as well as the investment and development plans. We will expect the whole world, whoever wish to invest, to find the attractive, peaceful environment for their investment, and a state that respect their agreements to make the investor to feel safe and security. We've already concluded the personal draw for His Excellency Mr. Egypt Premier, Mr. Fawaz Arnaout. Thank you. We have nothing but the comment of our guest, briefly to what such words or literature through the period of the fifth question. So I'd like to see, I start with the Nile. The Nile is just our life, the rights Egypt of life. Hosni Mubarak, he has his negatives and positive steps. Mother, the most precious thing, and of course it is like the school. If it is well prepared, you prepare a good generation. Sudan, a part of Egypt, a province, one people, and as you know, we have about 3.5 million Sudanese. The blood of the martyr is very precious. Yet the land has been planted by their blood, so it has a great right. Your Excellency, Mr. Egyptian Premier, Engineer Ibrahim Mahlab, thanks very much for such a special interview for our show. Your engagement would please us, whether it's on the website, internet, social media, and while you can just watch our show on previous one. See you again.